So if I was going to start the game for Bobby Ross and the Chargers, I'd just as soon have my defensive team do it. Now that all sounds great as long as San Francisco doesn't have a 12-play drive and march for a touchdown, but this is the unit that I'd want out there to make my first hit of the ballgame.
There's to Carter, who averaged 23 yards per return this season. A little better than the league average. Joe Robbie Stadium at 76 degrees, 82% humidity, and Super Bowl 29 is underway with a short kick that is taken up at the 17-yard line by Carter. And Dexter gets taken down at the 26-yard line. The tackle is made by Andre Coleman, and the game begins with a penalty marker. Jerry Markwright, the referee, is refereeing his 4th Super Bowl. He's the first man in history to ref 4 Super Bowls. And one of the men he'll confer with is Rod Botchin, the umpire, who is an original, there he is with a U on his back, an original Charger. He played with the LA Chargers when they were born in 1960.
Personal foul, face mask, number 54, kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
So after good coverage on the kick, Doug Miller cost him 15 yards.
Boy, there's a great look at it right in the middle of our camera as he goes to the ground. He's just dragging down number 85 for the San Francisco 49ers, Ted Lobson. And boy, that was an excellent job of catching that one. And you hate to see fairly good work by your special teams thrown out the window.
Here are the Niners now at the 41-yard line. They had Waters split to the right as a wide receiver and give it to the fullback. William Floyd for a pickup of 4 to the 45. The 49ers now offensively with young quarterback. Waters really came on toward the end of the season. Floyd, a fabulous rookie year from Florida State. Taylor and the fabulous Jerry Rice. Brent Jones, the tight end. And then the men up front. Wallace, Cipolla going to the Pro Bowl. Oates, the former Giant. Beast and Harris Spartan, who tore his biceps on opening night and missed half the season. Healthy now. 2nd and 6 from the 45. And with Floyd in motion and no backs behind Young, he goes to the air and hits Taylor. And John Taylor has the ball into San Diego territory, and that's a first down. Sayal and Gibson, the 2 linebackers, make the stop. Now, San Diego defensively, the base 4-3. Mims, Lee, Davis, a great acquisition, and Leslie O'Neal has been there since '86. Griggs, Gibson, and you all know about Sayal and the secondary, and they'll be tested tonight. Gordon, Harper, the corners, Harrington, and Richard to the safety. From the 44, they take it to Floyd. Young to the air, Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, that's quite a statement their defense made.
The lightning bolts were just hit by one.
Jerry Rice, his 5th Super Bowl, a touchdown, splitting defensive safety men, and it was almost like they were paralyzed there, but almost like they were looking for an autograph as he went by. Well, the first pass to John Taylor was just a 3-step drop, a quick release. This time Young goes back a little farther, and you can see Richard in the trailing positions in the middle, and 29 Carrington, both safeties for the San Diego Chargers. It's their responsibility to handle the middle of the football field, and Frank, I have dumbfounded as to what they're doing.
Good move to the outside on Carrington. He obviously expected help from the inside. From Richard, he didn't get it. 6 points, and this is the worst thing that could have happened to the Chargers. Doug Bryan, the rookie for the point after. The game is 1 minute 24 seconds old. Jerry Rice has become the first man in history to score 5 touchdowns in Super Bowl. 7-0 San Francisco. Fastest touchdown in Super Bowl history. 124. 7-0 49ers. Doug Bryan sends it skyward. The rookie Andre Coleman out of Kansas State. The 3rd-round draft choice has done a nice job all season. Gets tackled by Adam Walker. Great coverage by the 49ers. And Stan Humphries will take over at that spot. Stan Humphries, selected by Washington in '88, traded a couple of years ago to San Diego. Streaky. Natron Means, the bull with a lot of speed, plows over people. Jefferson and Say in the wideouts, and they play a 2 tight end set with Young and Pafuno. Then the guys up front, Swain, a rookie Isaac Davis, Courtney Hall, one of the best, Capuzzo and Stan Brock in his 15th season, a long time New Orleans Saint, finally makes it to the Super Bowl. First down, the Niners put 5 men up on the line, and they give it to Nathan Means, who squirms for 3 to the 18-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. Now, San Francisco defensively, and they're really strong up front in the middle. They've got Brown and Ricky Jackson on the outside, but Brian Young, the fabulous rookie from Notre Dame, and Dana Stubblefield, the tackles. Woodall is a rookie, Plummer, the ex-Charger, and Ken Norton Jr. seeking his 3rd straight Super Bowl ring. Davis is the only one of those 4 not going to the Pro Bowl. That's how good that secondary is. Sanders, McDonald, and Hank Swiffen. Second and goal at 6, up at the 19-yard line. Humphreys over the middle. His first pass is complete and caught by Mark Say up at the 24-yard line. A little short of the first down, 3rd and 1.
And how important is it now for San Diego to keep themselves together, not do anything desperate, stay with the game plan, not get away from it this early in the football game. And I don't think they will. But I do expect them to do a little bit more of the gambling type of offense than we would have expected. One thing I've seen here is that Deion Sanders is locking up with Sean Jefferson, the receiver for the Chargers. He's taking him to either side of the field. We'll have to see if that continues.
3rd and 1, and they're going to open it up. The play fake, the roll, and the pass is Eric, intended for Jefferson. So on the type of play, if you're going to button it up, you're going to give it to Means and let him do it. Instead, the Chargers go for the first down through the air, but come up empty.
You know, Dan pointed out that he was locking up with Sean Jefferson in the game 6 weeks ago. He did not do that, and this was deliberate to go right at cornerback Deion Sanders. They knew he was going to be locked up. They tried to get to Jefferson. He was open, and it was a poorly thrown ball.
If it's a good throw, that's a completion against Sanders.
Yes.
Sanders, normally the corner on the other side of the field, at least for the first series, goes one-on-one with Jefferson.
Ryan Wagner, who started the season in retirement and picks up in the 3rd week, gets a nice bounce as they let it roll down to the 21-yard line. Dexter Carter let it go by. It goes all the way to the 21-yard line. The kick is 55 yards. 7-0 San Francisco. That's the Budweiser Show. The aerial ambassador of the King of Beer is cruising high above Joe Robbie Stadium on this Sunday evening. And a reminder that coming up after our coverage, the hottest new show of the winter, Extreme. And that previews right after we're finished in Miami. So stick around for Extreme tonight on ABC. Stan Humphreys 3 and out after the 49ers ran 3 plays and got 7. And now San Francisco, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And Steve Young keeps it on the ground, gives it to Ricky Waters, who picks up the yard. He's tackled there by Sean Lee, who had arthroscopic surgery a couple of weeks ago, but is healthy again, starting in the middle, 2nd and 9.
Well, Bill Arnsparger, the defensive coordinator of the San Diego Chargers, 68 years old, has a wealth of experience at his behest, and I'm sure he needed all of it to try to calm down his defensive team, which gives up a bonehead touchdown to the 49ers on their first possession. They need to come up big on this series.
2nd and 9. They give a different look with Jones set wide and in motion, and coming back the other way to Floyd. And Floyd is out to the 28-yard line, a little short of the first down. Darian Gordon makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Let's take a look at the Jerry Rice touchdown. Jerry Rice caught 12 passes in the game 6 weeks ago. Here's a replay of that play, and you saw the quick read by Steve Young as he looked down. Look at that, splitting the safeties. Again, he caught 12 passes for 144 yards 6 weeks ago. The middle of the field is only supposed to be vulnerable if you've done something with some of your safeties. Flips him or something like that. Not with both of them deep.
3rd down and 3. And Young scrambled, and that's what Steve Young does, and sets him apart as he runs for the first down. So you cover everybody, and then there's Young. First down, San Francisco, behind a Nate Singleton block.
He is so effective. He goes back. He made about 3 reads there, looking first to his tight end, Brett Jones, who set up over the middle. He was covered. He looked to John Taylor. He was covered. He had the poise and the composure. There's a quick read. Brett Jones is covered. He pulls it down, and away he goes. And he is one of the better running backs on the football field, the 3rd leading rusher this season for the 49ers with nearly 300 yards.
It's almost not fair.
No, it isn't.
The average is 5.1 yards per rush. The league average is 3.7. First down at the 49-yard line. Young this time gives it, or takes it to Floyd and throws for
it was coupled up with John Taylor, Jerry Rice, and Brent Jones. But Ricky Waters has worked himself into the passing offense of the 49ers big time. The leading yardage gainer for backs and receiving this past season, and Bill Arnsparger was wondering what is happening out there. Ricky Waters, wide open, no protection, no pass rush on Steve Young. He took a good blow there.
You can't miss tackles against the 49ers. You just can't do it. Stanley Richard got a shot on Ricky Waters. You just can't miss tackles downfield. You can't blow coverages. Not against a football team this good. And I'm in favor of rewinding back to the national anthem and starting over.
Doug Ryan for the point after. Well, we saw the fastest touchdown in the history of the Super Bowl. And now the two quickest touchdowns. This one, 51 yards. We played 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and it's 14-0.
And the Chargers are doing their best to remain nameless and faceless.
Shredded now. 7 plays have been run by the 49ers, and they have 14 points. And in the history of the Super Bowl, the biggest margin ever overcome was 10. Here's the kickoff by Bryan. Andre Coleman takes it at the goal line. And the Kansas State rookie brings it back out to the 22, where he's tackled by Troy Cook as the Chargers come out to take the ball for the second time.
Incredibly, as it was on the first touchdown to Jerry Rice, it's the two safeties of the Chargers that are involved. The first one is a hit by Stanley Richard. The first one by Carrington, rather. That's Darren Carrington that bounces off. And then Stanley Richard right here comes in, and he gets faked by Ricky Waters, and he has a clean whip in the open field.
And earlier, safeties have to be good tacklers in this league. It's just almost like they're mesmerized by the 49ers. Here's Humphries.
He floats one that may have been tipped and is caught by Swain Young. They play a double tight end set for a short game. Stanley Richard is known as the sheriff. He better call for the deputies here, the way the first 2 touchdown plays have gone against that secondary.
And I agree with you. I thought it was tipped as well, Al. It was altered at the line of scrimmage. I think Dennis Brown, number 96. Yep, there he gets the left fingers on it, and nice piece of concentration there by Dwayne Young.
2nd and 7. They have Ronnie Harmon in the game. Number 33 was in motion, and they go right to Ronnie Harmon, and he seeks the first down and comes close to it. He is their third down specialist. He's tied for the team lead in receptions with 58, and they'll probably use him more tonight on first and second down as well.
Pittsburgh in the playoff game took him, for all intent and purposes, out of the game. Only 1 reception, but we're going to see a lot of Ronnie Harmon from this point on in this game, because he is a fine pass receiver. You can use him out of the backfield. You can use him in a slot. You can use him as a wide receiver, and he does everything in the passing game well.
You can see just a little bit short, and the 49ers were obviously playing with the San Diego Chargers on the first series, because now Deion Sanders is back in his familiar right cornerback position. As a matter of fact, Deion now looks like he's taking a stroll towards the sideline.
Each team in its third
He comes out on short yardage, but he's sitting in his right corner position. That's last time he was locked up on Mark Say, staying at home.
Hanks goes to corner. Hall comes in at safety, 3rd down and inches, and Humphries keeps it himself and has the first down at the 33-yard line. The Chargers' initial first down.
They're a little dangerous on 3rd down. They haven't been one of the most successful teams on 3rd down, and yet when we talked to Bobby Ross, he was talking about this game, and there's Ralph Friedgen, the offensive coordinator, been with Bobby Ross for so many years. But Bobby Ross said, look, we're going to have to do things a little different offensively, and Ralph himself agreed that they may get into a situation where they get around midfield, they get a 4th, 1 or 2, it's going to be a 4-down series for them.
First down, Deion back in, and goes man-to-man with Tony Martin as Natron Means carries to the 37. Means out of North Carolina, just 22 years old. 2nd-round pick last year, came out early. And Bobby Beathard said that acquisition and Reuben Davis defensively were the 2 best moves he's made in the last 2 years.
He's made some moves in the last 2 years. Picked up 4 unprotected free agents, and all of them are starters on defense. That's how much his team has changed defensively in 1 year.
2nd and 7 at the 37-yard line. And is Means again up to the 40-yard line. Tackled there by Bryant Young, the great-looking rookie from Notre Dame.
Bryant Young has played as well as any defensive lineman rookie that I have seen in a long, long time. He has started from day one. He has played every game. He has started every game. And the 49ers have hit consecutive home runs in the middle of their defensive line. First drafting Dana Stubblefield last year, and then this year with the #1 drafting Bryant Young.
3rd and 4. Stay in motion. Humphreys brings one into the 49er territory, and it is a first down. Ronnie Harmon, who played no part in the AFC Championship game, already a big part on this drive for San Diego here.
Well, the Steelers effectively took him out with their defense, and when you take Ronnie Harmon out of your offense, he is their big 3rd down receiver, 24, I think he caught over the season with a good quick move. He can plant a foot, accelerate it out of his cut, and it was a good read on the part of quarterback Stan Humphreys and a good pass.
Yeah, it was a good sharp throw by Humphreys. That's good to see.
6.5 minutes to go in the quarter. The fake to Means. Humphreys, nobody open.
Well, his receiver falls flat on his face. Tony Martin went down to the ground, nobody to go to.
It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Stan wants to work the right side of the field the whole way. Martin goes down, tries to make his cut, plants his foot, and goes right to the turf. This time he's working against cornerback, you got it, Deion Sanders, and Deion doesn't have to do anything. Stan has to throw the ball away.
Now Sanders comes back to the other side and locks up with Sean Jefferson. It's 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. The short drop this time, and the quick out is caught by Mark Say. Big forward progress takes him to the 40. They'll be 3rd and 7. And let's get a word from Len Swan. Swanee?
Now with San Diego behind by 14 points, we know they're going to put the ball in the air even more. And Bobby Ross told me before the game that he talked to Jerry Markbrecht to remind him that there's a 5-yard chucking zone. They don't want Deion Sanders to be able to put his hands all over the receivers like he did against Michael Irving in the Dallas game. So the officials will be on top of it all night long. Now,
thank you, Len. 3rd down and 7. Just inside the 40, 5:50 to go. First quarter, 14-0, 49ers. It's the 9th play of the drive, and coming across the line was Dana Stubblefield. Was he induced? That's the question.
And we shall momentarily find out the answer.
Jerry Markbrecht.
Offside, number 94, defense, unabated toward the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down. That helps a lot. That helps Ralph Friesen upstairs. When you take a 3rd and long situation and now bring it down to something a little more manageable.
This is what I said a moment ago. They've had difficulty with the 3rd and short yards over the season.
And this is 4-down territory for the Chargers right now. You're down 14-0 against the best team we've seen in a while. This is something you take a whack at it, you don't get it, you take another whack at it.
And I think it would have been nothing but nothing they would. This would still be 4-down territory. 3rd and a short 2. And Ronnie Harmon has a hole to the right side. Inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Nice block by rookie Isaac Davis. Their top draft pick out of Arkansas to spring him. First down.
Ronnie Harmon, who ordinarily works out of the backfield as a receiver, this time used on a little draw play through the offside, and very effective.
Isaac Davis gets moving. He's the second guy from the bottom, number 73, 320 pounds, and he picks up Ken Norton Jr. coming through the middle. Big block by Papunu. Swain gets all the way across the formation. That's the best-looking running play by the Chargers yet.
On 1st and 10, they give it to Nate Means. And like a pinball, he works his way down to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 4 with 4:40 to go in the first quarter.
It's more like a pinball than a pinball.
One thing with the 49ers going up by 14 this early in the game, you really don't have to leave your game plan. You have a lot of time to get back into the football game, and this is a very effective drive that could get the Chargers back into the game. There's Means. He sort of looks like he's a little top-heavy when you get up close to him and you watch him work out, but he has amazing balance for a big man, almost 250. He's got some legs, doesn't he? Oh.
On 2nd and 6, Means again. Deep run inside the 15. Takes it to the 10-yard line. Deion Sanders met Natron McGee.
Deion's so proud of himself for getting in on a tackle. He's up high-fiving people. He was there and he survived it. Deion's very open to the press this week down here in Miami. Says, I hate tackling. So that's for linebackers. It is the 90s, I guess. I know, they're good looking. It's really the same thing with Papunu, Swain, Davis all being involved. And Deion, nice being in there. Oh, nice tackle.
First and goal, the nose of the ball was right on the strike. And it's Means taking it to the 9-yard line. He's stopped by Gary Plummer, the longtime former Charger, who opted to go to San Francisco to try to get to a Super Bowl, and he did. Of course, not having any idea he'd be facing his old mates.
A little bit ironic, except I think that Gary Plummer thought all along that he had a much better chance of getting there with the 49ers. The Chargers, they didn't look like at the second half of the season that they were going to do much of anything in the postseason. A 500 ball club down the stretch.
Second and goal. Humphreys comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Sanders got flagged covering Sean Jefferson.
Oh, he almost garroted him. And right in front of the official. That's as flagrant a defensive hold as you will, as you'll see. And
but if he hadn't held him, it might have been 6 points.
And credit the Chargers. They said they were going after Deion. They weren't going to run it high, and they have taken it to him.
Let's take a look at Jefferson. He runs it straight down the field, brings it across, and watch Deion. He's beat here. He has to grab him, or it's going to be 6 points, and he mauled him.
It's not Michael Irvin, and this isn't the NFC Championship. This is the Super Bowl, and it's first and goal at the 1.
And Shane Humphreys has to call a timeout with 2:38 remaining in the opening quarter. It'll be the 13th play of the drive coming up. The Chargers, first and goal, down by 14.
Sparky?
Sparky? Sparky, come back! Sparky, stay!
There's only one way with this boat for you now, mister.
Good thing these rolled off pretzels are fat-free.
On the way, handsome boy.
Brave man.
Yeah, must be the pretzels.
A great taste that's fat-free. It must be rolled gold.
And welcome back to Miami, where the Chargers...
Al, hold it. Well, look at this.
Can you believe this?
I've seen it all now.
And the guy's got a dog with him. This is absolutely incredible. Featuring Disney's Indiana Jones Adventure on the Doritos Super Bowl halftime show. Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami. The 49ers jumping out to a quick 14-0 lead, but the Chargers doing anything but rolling over and dying. Have moved down the field, first and goal at the 1. Means the tailback. They give it to Natron Means, and he's in for the touchdown behind Steve Hendrickson. When you talk about athletic ability, you saw it there. We're talking about Means, how powerful he is. He also is, he's so agile. The man his size, this time he just hurtled over the top into the end zone.
A championship varsity drive by the San Diego Chargers.
So what they want to do, taking time off the clock,
Beautiful
right back into it.
Beautiful mix of plays, the run, the passes, left, right. Nice play calling by Ralph Friedgen. Good execution by his offensive team.
John Carney, who led the league in scoring, tacks on the extra point. 13 plays, 78 yards, engineered by Ralph Friedgen, the offensive coordinator. And all of a sudden, 2:44 to go in the quarter, San Diego has the lead. On a drive they desperately needed at that point, with the 49ers scoring quickly, 14-0, a nightmarish beginning, but now they're right back in it.
Yes, but now unfortunately they have to give San Francisco the ball.
And that's been a problem. That's been a problem.
The two times they've had it, it's been a problem for San Diego.
Carney kicks off. Dexter Carter fields the ball at the 12-yard line and brings it back out to the 31. It's a 19-yard run back. Eric Castle makes the tackle. And a little pushy-shovey.
Well, if this pushy-shovey keeps going, there's going to be a flag. It's reached the limits of how far it can go without a flag.
And the 49ers don't want to hurt Stanley Richard.
Eric Bieniemy.
Keep him in the game.
I think Eric Bieniemy is still a little bit upset over what happened in the warm-ups.
Meanwhile, Natron Means, the youngest player now to run for a touchdown in Super Bowl history. He's not quite 23 years old.
And you would never guess whose record he beat.
9 years ago. We'll take a look.
Running back. You think about it.
We'll take a look at it in a minute.
And if you know it, you are a serious football junkie.
It is first down, and Jerry Rice goes in motion to the 30-yard line. Takes the Waters over the middle. The catch is made by Jerry Rice. And out to the 49-yard line he goes. He's tackled there by Junior Seau. It's a 19-yard gain. The answer, until now, the youngest man to rush for a touchdown in a Super Bowl 9 years ago. Chicago against New England. You bet.
We told you.
Bridge in the backfield. Walter Payton didn't score that day. They had 46 points, but the Bridge did.
That was in agility. What agility, what size, what thickness.
First down at the 49-yard line. We run reverses. Waters hands it to Jerry Rice. Rice into San Diego territory. Pumped out at the 41-yard line. Tackle made by Gordon with a tough hit at the end.
He's taken a lot of tough hits over the years. Jerry Rice, one of the remarkable things about him, not the records that he has set, he has never missed a game because of an injury. He's taken many hits like that. One of the best conditioned athletes, hardest working athletes I have ever met. But that was a good inspiration to his own teammates. I agree with you in all respects, Frank, but he didn't like this one bit. He took a good shot there from Darian Gordon, and he's going to sit this one out.
10-yard pickup. First and 10 to the 41. Young is perfect thus far. He's 5 of 5, and now he is 5 of 6 intended for Brent Jones. It's been a pretty quiet week, all things considered. Very few fireworks between these two teams. I guess the biggest story is kind of a non-story. Jerry Rice musing about retirement. That's not going to happen.
No, I didn't think so. Jerry Rice was a little ill over the past 24 hours. Yeah, Jerry made a valid point. He said, hey, I've been in the league 10 years. I have the right to think about quitting. One thing about Jerry Rice, he does want to own every passing record in the NFL history books, and he still has a little work left to do.
He's back in on second. Taylor makes a fabulous catch.
That's the problem. You talk about Jerry Rice on one side, and the other side is John Taylor. One of the reasons Jerry Rice is a great receiver, of course. We're talking about this one, by the way, guys.
It was ruled initially a catch, and now another official may have had a better vantage point.
Well, they're still letting it stand. I think it was a perfect catch. I mean, he went down to pull the ball up. Look at that. Great. Cover it with the arm. Oh, God, that's beautiful. If you double cover Jerry Rice, you're going to get single coverage on John Taylor. Beautiful. And he can kill you.
Upon further review, a first down. 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Ricky Waters up in the middle, so he goes to the outside, but Gibson gets an arm on him, and then he lost the ball, but out of bounds as Harper comes up to help out.
Ricky lost the ball, nearly lost his helmet. Excellent support on the corner by the San Diego Chargers. They can play the run, and that time they got a lot of white jerseys up there. Dennis Gibson, the hero of the game in Pittsburgh. But that was just a good collective effort by the Chargers. You string a running back out, you don't let him get his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. Excellent team defense by San Diego.
So we talked about Jerry Rice and John Taylor, and
we have not yet heard from Brent Jones. We will soon.
They attempted a one pass throw. It was incomplete. Second and 11. Scrambling. Taken off. Inside the swing. Bang down at the 15. Junior Seau, and you may not be catching passes when he threw a block like that.
Did he throw a beautiful block? Well, directed by the maestro. Steve's pointing the guys out. Take him down, and he did.
15-yard pickup. Young is now carried twice for 36 yards and watches the first quarter expire. End of one in Miami. San Francisco 14, San Diego 7, and back we come to the Super Bowl. After this message and a word from our ABC.